Hello bookworms! Today we're going to be doing another news and stuff video. So, despite me having just done one not so long ago, this is the time of year when news is just exploding. There's so much that's being announced. We're finding out about more things that we're going to be getting in 2025. Hasn't been that much time, but we have so many things to cover. I have like almost 100 images saved that I need to add into this video. So get ready. This is going to be chock full of information. So kicking things off with special editions, the Locked Library revealed their edition of The Book That Held Her Heart by Mark Lawrence. This is the third and final book in the Library trilogy, and it has the book sprayed pages to match the first two editions. Super pretty, really love this one. And while we are talking about that book, The Broken Binding has also revealed their edition of The Book That Held Her Heart. This one has magenta sprayed pages. Their first two editions have orange sprayed pages and like a teal blue sprayed page. So I do think that this color will go really well with it. And this is the set that I have. So I'm really looking forward to getting my third copy and reading this book later this year. Then Ryan Cahill revealed the cover for Of Darkness and Light. This is going to be for the Broken Binding special edition, which is set to go on sale in early March. These editions have been really beautiful. I have the first two books that they did in Ryan's series, and this is another one where it's a series that I'm planning on reading this year, so I'm really looking forward to grabbing this one too. Next up, we have a Waterstones exclusive edition of The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I really love the UK cover of The Devils. I think like the extra details, like the white swirly around the skull, it's really, really cool. And I really like the red sprayed pages on this one, and I believe that it is also signed by Joe Abercrombie. Then I'm including this one here, but we got the cover reveal and the sprayed pages reveal for Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. This is the deluxe edition, so this will be like the first print run. If you pre-order a copy of it, this is what you'll be getting. It's not like a special one that you have to order from a specific store. However, it does look really special. The cover actually really reminds me of like an M.C. Escher painting, which is perfect because I believe this novel takes place in hell, and an M.C. Escher painting is like just a never-ending loop of things. So I think that they did a really good job on this one. Next up, Folio Society announced their spring lineup of special edition books that they're going to be releasing. Some of the books included are The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, The King of Elfland's Daughter by Lord Dunsay, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and then There Were None by Agatha Christie, and more. And these are going to be releasing on March 4th, so not too much longer for these. Then this is not a special edition, but it's just something that I really love, so I wanted to share it. Marauders Market released a sweatshirt and a crew neck t-shirt for the Greenbone Saga. It says the No Peak Clan on it, and I just really love it. This is one of my favorite series, and I was so excited when this design popped up, so I actually ordered both a sweatshirt and a t-shirt version so that I can wear it throughout the entire year seasonally as the weather changes. Not actually like a special edition book, but just kind of wanted to slip that in there because I think that it's really cute and we need more like Greenbone Saga merch. Next up, we have really exciting news for Twilight fans. This is the 20th anniversary of Twilight, which makes me feel so very old. But Hachette revealed that they are going to be releasing like a slew of special editions of Twilight. So first up, we have this collector's edition, which is so pretty. I love like the vintage floral feel of it. To me, it looks like, this is what I said to my friends, it looks like as if the UK covers of the Belladonna series and the US collector's edition of Lightlark had like a book baby. I just think it's so pretty. And then next up, we have a deluxe special edition box set, including all the books in the series with Midnight Sun. These are really gorgeous. I love the sprayed pages on these. They're black with white stars. I think that the covers are just incredible. Like the artwork is really, really beautiful and it feels really true to the series. That's the one thing I'll say about the collector's edition. I don't feel like it really fits Twilight, but it's pretty, so not complaining. And then the final special edition that they're going to be releasing is a paperback edition. It's going to have sprayed pages with a quote on it, and for this one they used the original Twilight cover, which I think was a good choice because it kind of pays homage to the original iconic series covers that we all know and love. All three editions of these will be hitting shelves on September 30th, just a couple months away. And I was also just saying that we literally just had a Barnes & Noble pre-order sale and like I already need another one to pop up. Next up is a new to me book box or book subscription company, and that is Ethereal by Eternal Embers. They are releasing a special edition box set of TJ Klune's Green Creek series. It will include all 4 books in the series. I really love these. I think that they are so pretty. I love the houses on the covers of each of the books. They're so cute and the sprayed pages are gorgeous. The pre-order for these went live on January 31st and it's going to remain open until February 25th. So if you want to grab a copy, you will still have time to do so as long as you're seeing this video before February 25th. But I love when companies do an open pre-order versus it goes up and then it's like the Hunger Games to try to get the edition that you want before it sells out. Next up, the Broken Binding revealed their special edition for A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book in the Shadow of the Leviathan series after The Tainted Cup. Really love their edition. It's very, very beautiful and I'm definitely gonna be picking up a copy of this. And then Inkstone Books also revealed their special edition of A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. I believe that the hardcover casing was done by the same artist for both of these editions. It's just that we have different colorways, so it's really just a matter of, well, which one you can get and which colorway you like better. Next up, the Broken Binding finally announced their next sci-fi sub, and they are doing something a little bit different this time around. So instead of doing a series for the subscription, they're doing a standalone book, and it's called Doomsday Book by Connie Willis. This is being offered to subscribers as a standalone book. However, if you look on Goodreads, there actually are like 4 books in this series, but the Broken Binding has said that book 2 is more of a comedy than a sci-fi, so they don't want to like release it as part of the subscription since it doesn't fit what their subscription is supposed to be about. So if they do release the rest of the series, they will do those separately from the subscription. And because of this, they're also going to be looking into their skip policy because you're only allowed to skip 1 series per year, but obviously skipping a standalone is very different than skipping an entire series. And the sci-fi subscription is also every other month. So you would be saving a lot more money if you just got this book and held out to skip a series versus skipping a standalone. Then this is a partial reveal. I don't really like doing partial reveals, but I was perusing the Barnes & Noble website as I do, just looking at what's new coming out. And I stumbled across this listing for Untitled Vampire number 3 by Jay Kristoff. And so now I know that we are going to be getting a Barnes & Noble special edition. I have no idea what it is that will be special about it. There's literally no information at all in the listing outside of the release date and the fact that a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition is coming. So I'll be keeping eyes on that and I'll let you know when we have more information. Next up, Owl Crate announced that they're going to be doing a special Dark Academia box. The book featured is going to be Boys with Sharp Teeth by Jenny Howell. This is one that I was really looking forward to, so I'm definitely going to be getting this box. And most especially, normally like when they do boxes, I usually will just get the book only version. However, in the goodies version, there are going to be things that are inspired by If We Were Villains and The Secret History, which are 2 of my favorite books ever. So I'm definitely going to be getting full book and goodies box on this one, assuming it doesn't sell out like the day that it goes live, because early access for this is only for YA Owl Crate subscribers. And then I think the rest of the subscriber base will get access the second day. And then if there's anything left over, it'll go on general sale. Then Owl Crate also announced another special box, and this one is going to be for Legends and Lattes. It'll include copies of both books in the series, and it's also going to include a slew of items that complement the world. I have said before, and I'll say it again, I feel like we are just so oversaturated with special editions of Legends and Lattes at this point. I really wish that book box companies would look to do some other books instead of Legends and Lattes. As much as I love it, like I am a huge fan, but like I just don't need any more copies. I already have so many special editions. So like the last couple that have popped up, despite how pretty they are, I just can't justify getting like even more copies of these books. Give us other cozy fantasy. Next up, Fairy Loot revealed their special edition of The Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. And I really like the look of this. However, somebody that I follow on Instagram, her handle is Shanosaurus Rex. She pointed out that the cover is extremely similar to C.S. Picot's Dark Rise, and now I just like can't unsee that. I'm obviously getting this book because I loved The Crimson Moth, and I've been really looking forward to getting this edition, and I've actually been like waiting. I haven't ordered standard copies because I know that like the Fairy Loot ones are the ones that I want for my shelves, but The book just came out in February. The Fairy Loot edition does not go on sale until April, and the estimated shipping date is not until December or January of 2026, which is outrageous to me. Next up, Fairy Loot revealed their special edition for the Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book after Swordcatcher, and it is the middle book in a trilogy, which I hadn't realized. I thought it was a duology, but the Fairy Loot edition is really pretty, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Fairy Loot also revealed their special edition for The Shadow Bride by Shelby Mahurin. This is the second book after The Scarlet Veil, which I still have to read. It's actually literally right in front of me on my shelves across the way, and it's making me think I should probably pick that up soon to see if I want to buy this matching edition, which I probably will, because I did read the first chapter of it at one point when I was just reading the first chapter of a couple of books to see what it was that I wanted to pick up, and I really liked the prose, so I think that I am really gonna love that one. Maybe that'll be a March read. Oh, but I also do really like the purple of the sequel edition. Fairy Loot also announced a special edition set for the Married to Magic series by Elise Kova. I think the original covers are so much better than these special edition covers. I was really disappointed when I saw these because I originally thought, like, if Fairy Loot ever did this series, it would be amazing, stunning, gorgeous, and it's not, in my opinion. The naked hardcovers, great. They look amazing. The, like, actual covers, not a fan. There's also going to be a deluxe edition of Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation. Even though this is my least favorite Emily Henry book, you can bet I pre-ordered it during the Barnes & Noble sale. I have high hopes that this means that we're probably going to be getting deluxe editions of all of Emily Henry's releases. It's really nice that we'll have them, especially for the ones that were not originally released in hardcover. And this one's coming out on October 7th, so the latter half of the year. Fairy Loot also announced editions for the Fate and Flame series by K.A. Tucker. I have not read this, but I do think that these are just lovely. I love the colors that they chose. I love the design. I think that these are really stunning. I'm gonna need to look further into the synopsis and read some reviews to see if it's something worth taking a chance on, but I think that these are just so beautiful. Fairy Loot also announced their matching sequel edition for The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam by Megan Bannon. This one doesn't go on sale until June 12th, so it's a super early announcement, but I do really like the colorway, and I think the look of all three of the books in this series is so pretty. I haven't read them, I don't really know anything about them, but I love the aesthetic of them. Fairy Loot also announced their sequel edition of The Ashfire King by Chelsea Abdullah. This is in the Stardust Thief series. I'm not sure if that's like the title of the series, but that's definitely the title of the first book. I really like the color blue that they chose for the sprayed pages. I think this is really, really pretty. And then lastly, Barnes & Noble announced that they will be doing a matching special edition for Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the second book in that series. The book will have holographic lithofoil on the spine and on the cover. It's like rainbow holographic, which is so pretty. I've been really curious about these, and I think I need to read the first one. The first one is also still available on their website, so if you wanted to get both of them, get matching editions, you can do so very soon, and you probably should, because they said that once they are gone, they will be gone. Okay, moving on to cover reveals. These are literally the best covers that I'm going to show you in this whole video, so I figured why not kick things off with them. And these are the new UK covers for T. Kingfisher's The Saint of Steel series. There are no words. Like, these are just some of the best covers that I've ever seen. It combines my love of like retro fantasy art, but it also has like a historical romance twist to it with like the pastel borders around the covers. I just think that these are like everything I could ever want and more in a cover. Like, I've never been so obsessed. I pre-ordered these the second that announcement went live. I was like, wow, that is not a want, that is a need. So the series includes Paladin's Grace, Paladin's Earth, Paladin's Hope, and Paladin's Strength. And all 4 books are going to be released with their new covers on April 8th. And again, these are just so perfect. And then honestly, a super close second for favorite cover in this video, like so close to being first. If it wasn't for those, this would be first, no question. We got a cover reveal for Olivie Blake's Girl Dinner. It is my dream. Like, mint and pink used to be my favorite colors in the world. I have never been able to resist that color combination. I love it. I love the gold fork. I love the little droplets of blood. It's amazing. I, again, pre-ordered this one literally the second that cover was revealed. And I also just cannot believe that we are getting a Victoria Schwab and an Olivie Blake book about vampires this year. Like, We're being fed. Oh, and this one's coming out October 21st. Then we got a cover reveal for Catching Fire, the illustrated edition by Suzanne Collins. I'm so glad that they're going to be continuing on and illustrating the rest of the series. I got the first one last year when it came out in the hopes that it wouldn't be like a one-off, because publishers love to do something special with the first book and then nothing with the rest of the series. But thankfully that is not happening for these. This one will have black and white interior illustrations, and it's going to be releasing on October 7th. Then we got a cover for Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. This is the next book in the Legends and Lattes series. This I am very excited to read. Travis Baldree was once again blessed by the cover gods. I think that these cozy fantasy covers are so cute. We have a lot of like really good covers in this video. This one's coming out on November 11th, and I am certain that there will be 100 million special editions of it to follow. Then we got cover reveals for the House of Flame and Shadow paperback editions by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third book in the Crescent City series. So we got a reveal for the US and Canada paperback, the UK and international paperback, and then the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition paperback, which will match the other Crescent City books in the series. I'm definitely going to be getting the Barnes & Noble ones since I have the first ones in that edition, even though this was not my favorite of Sarah's books, but you know, you gotta complete the collection. And these are all gonna be coming out in June. Then it was revealed that Stephen King and Maurice Sendak are releasing a children's book of Hansel and Gretel. It's going to be written by Stephen King and illustrated by Maurice Sendak, and yes, I will be buying this children's book. What a cool team up. This one's going to be coming out on September 2nd of 2025. Then we got a cover of The Entanglement of Rival Wizards by Sarah Rosh. This is another cover that I really, really love. I think Sarah Rosh's covers have been so good. I need to read her Christmas Prince, Halloween Prince romance series, but I'm very excited to read this one because it is described as D&D meets Allie Hazelwood, and those are two things that I love very deeply, so I kind of feel like this book was written for me. And this one's going to be coming out on September 2nd. Then we got a cover of Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. I really love this cover. It's giving like major Snow White vibes because it has that apple, and then we have the like lime green sprayed pages. This one's coming out on August 19th. Then I realized that in my last video, I had shown the new UK cover for The Witching Hour by Anne Rice, but the rest of the books in the series also have covers, and I don't think I realized that at the time, so I just wanted to highlight so that you could see the covers of Lasher and Taltos. All three of them are actually available right now. You don't even have to pre-order. I actually ordered all of them from Blackwell's, and I'm still waiting for my copies to come. I'm really excited to get these. Then we got the US cover reveal and the Barnes & Noble exclusive cover reveal for Holly by Adeline Grace. This is the short novella that takes place after Wisteria in the Belladonna series, The World of Belladonna. I really love that series, so I'm really excited to read this novella once it comes out. I think the cover is really pretty. Same design scheme where we have like the face and the flowers. But yeah, very much looking forward to this one. And this one's coming out in October. Then we got the US and UK cover reveals for Witchlight by Susan Dennard. This is the final book in the Witchland series. It is coming out on November 4th in the US and November 6th in the UK. I've only read the first two or three books in the series. I can't remember. I think I only read two of them. I'm curious if these are worth going back to. It's obviously been a really long time since the first one was released, and Susan has been writing other books in the interim. Let me know. Let me know if these ones are worth going back to. Then we got a cover for We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. I don't really like this cover anywhere near as much as I like the original cover of Bunny. It is a little bit like Midsummer-esque with the whole like floral design, but I feel like you kind of really have to like look to see the bunny. It doesn't like pop out as bunny. At first I was like, what is this weird shape? And then I realized that it was a bunny head. This one's coming out September 23rd. Then we got a cover for Adrienne Young's adult fantasy debut novel. This one is called Fallen City, and it's the first book in a Greco-Roman inspired duology. It's coming out in November of 2025, and I would be shocked if this one was not getting a bunch of special editions as well. Then we got the paperback reveal for the Secrets of the Nile series by Isabel Ibanez. They both have really beautiful sprayed pages, but they keep the original covers, and both the first book and the second book are going to be dropped on November 4th. 4th. Then Daniel T. Jackson announced that Illborn is going to be getting a new cover. I really like the new cover. I think that the color is really pretty. Like, it's definitely more striking than the first one, which is much darker. He also said that there are no plans at all to change the covers for books 2 and 3. He just wanted to change the first one, but he is still keeping the spine exactly the same so that it will match up with the rest of the series. So he gets it. But I think that this is a really good cover change. Then we got a double cover reveal from Josie Silver. So we have Spooky Crazy Love, which is the first book. It's going to be coming out on September 2nd. And then there is virtually no wait because book 2, Kooky Spooky Love, is coming out on October 28th of 2025. So it's really just like a month between books, which is nice. And it's also really nice that they are releasing these right during the height of spooky season. So it's like kind of perfect, like perfect timing to pick these up and read them right away. I really love these covers. I love how the title looks like it's just like slightly out of focus. I also have a really fun group text thread with 2 of my friends, Kelly and Kim. We call it our K-named Book of Friends group chat. And it's also basically like a ghost romance book chat. So we were really excited that we could add this to our list of ghost romances to look forward to. Then we got a cover for The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. This is the 6th book in the Robert Langdon series. I read the Da Vinci Code like way back in the day. I did not realize that there were 6 books in this series, but since it's just so, or it was popular, I don't know, is it still popular? I felt like I had to highlight it. This one's coming out on September 9th. Then we got a cover for Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is her adult debut thriller. Really excited about this one. It's about a girl who's like trying to solve her own murder before it happens, which sounds like such an insane and fun premise. Oh my gosh, this one's coming out on July 22nd, 2025, which is the day before my birthday, and thank you, Holly Jackson, for thinking of me. Then we got a cover for Nowhere Burning by Catriona Ward. I don't know if you can hear that, but at noon every day, our local fire department sets off the alarm, so you know it's noon. It's lunchtime, time to take a break. Anyway, back to Nowhere Burning. This one's coming out on October 7th. I did not love Catriona Ward's last book, Looking Glass Down, which is a shame because I loved the cover. I'm not sure like if I should give her another chance, but I feel like I should because everyone raves about The House on Needless Street, which I have not yet read. So perhaps I'll read that one, and if I end up liking it, I will pick up this new release as well. Then we got a cover for Coldwire by Chloe Gong. I love this cover. This one's coming out on November 4th, and it is a YA dystopian cyberpunk novel, which is like pretty obvious from the cover design. It's so striking. Then we got a cover for House Saphir by Marissa Meyer. I haven't read a Marissa Meyer book in quite a while, but the synopsis of this one sounds so good. So I definitely added this one to my like unreleased shelf on Goodreads. It's definitely something that I want to check out. It's a murder mystery romantasy, and our main character comes from like a long line of witches. And this one is coming out on November 4th.
Welcome to How to Pronounce. In today's video, we'll be focusing on a new word that you might find challenging.
You have the proof that I tried to look up how to pronounce this word, so I apologize if I say it wrong, but we next got a cover for The God and the Gwishin by Sophie Kim. This is the 2nd book after The God and the Gomihu. The word that I can't say, but I'll try again, Gwishin, is the Korean word for ghost. It comes from like Korean folklore. I really need to read that first book, and I do want to read this second one as well. So this is the second one in the Fates Thread series, and it's coming out on June 3rd. Then we got a cover for How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days by Jessie Silva. This one's coming out in January of 2026, and I'm so excited for it. It sounds so good. I really love how cottagecore this cover is. Like, I love the little pumpkins, the little pink flowers, the little mushrooms. It's so pretty. And then we also basically have like a hobbit hole door on the cover. This one's described as a cozy halfling and goblin romance, and the marketing says that it essentially takes place in the Shire, which I'm curious how they're able to market it that way. There's usually comp titles, but you usually can't say like it takes place essentially in the Shire because Lord of the Rings is not in public domain. Andrew and I actually looked that up after I was telling him about this, but either way, like certainly did what it was supposed to because I'm excited to read it. Then we got a cover for Break Wide the Sea by Sarah Holland. I love this cover. I love anything nautical, so this just like speaks to me. Though I will say that at first I thought those rocks in the bottom left corner were like a giant duck, and I wasn't sure what was happening, and I had to like kind of zoom, and then I saw, oh no, it's rocks, it's not a duck, but it's definitely duck shaped. This one's coming out on November 11th. Then we got a cover for Every Spiral of Fate by Tahara Mafi. This is the 4th book in the Woven Kingdom series, and this is by far my favorite cover in the series so far, which is really saying something because honestly, every cover in the series is amazingly gorgeous. I think, again, it's just that like pink and mint color combination, and I am like living for the fact that this seems to be becoming a trend because this cover like makes me want to go and read the rest of the series. Like, this is perfect. This one's coming out on September 30th. Then we got a cover for Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. This is her new YA hockey sports romance rom-com. This one's coming out September 30th. Then we got a cover for The Devil She Knows by Alexandria Bellflower. I love this cover. It is so gorgeous. I love the color combination. I love the design. It's beautiful. This one's coming out October 21st. Then we got a cover for The Dark is Descending by Chloe C. Penarenda. This one is coming out December 2nd from Bramble Romance. And they're also going to be releasing paperback editions of the first 2 books in the series. So the first one, The Stars Are Dying, is going to come out on September 2nd. And the second one, The Night Defying, is going to be released the same day as book 3. Then we got a cover for The Ordeals by Rachel Greenlaw. This is a dark academia rivals to lovers romance that takes place at a magic school, and it's being released by Dell Romance. Absolutely going to be picking this one up. This one comes out on October 7th. Again, like the perfect time for this book to be released. Then we got a cover for Voidwalker by S.A. McLean. I also love this cover. I love like the Aurora Borealis color scheme that we have going on. It's just so striking. This is a dark romantasy and it's coming out on August 19th. And then lastly, we got a cover for The Lovers by Kristen Cast. I really like how this one looks like a tarot card, and this one's going to be coming out on October 21st. Moving on to book news, I have some really like fun things I feel like in this section this time around. In addition to books that are going to be coming out in the future, I also have some just like general bookish news which I thought would be fun to cover. The first thing being that Barnes & Noble announced that it's going to be adding over 50 new stores in 2025. They said that Book Talk is basically fueling the bookstore revival, and as somebody who does not use TikTok at all, like I don't even have the app. I have a friend who, whenever she wants me to see something, she literally takes a screen recording and then texts it to me because I can't even like open it to see it without having it. So I'm just not like involved in that at all. But I'm so glad that it is getting more people interested in reading to the point where Barnes & Noble is able to open 50 more physical stores. Like, that's just amazing, and I love that for the book community. It was also announced that Rebecca Yaros's Onyx Storm is the fastest selling adult novel in the last 20 years, which is so awesome. Again, I feel like this is one that is very heavily fueled by both Book Talk and Bookstagram. People have just been going nuts for this release. I love that we are like back in the time of like midnight release parties of people waiting on lines for books. I think it's just great. Like, whether you like the series or not, the fact that there is so much excitement around these releases is just like warming my heart. Like, I just love it so much. And I'm so happy for Rebecca. That's so awesome for somebody who was basically told that their next book would kind of determine whether they had a career or not. She just totally killed it with Fourth Wing, and just so happy for her. Then it was announced that bookshop.org is going to be releasing ebooks as a way to compete with Amazon, which I think is fantastic. For those who don't know, bookshop.org is the way that you can purchase books online but still support your local bookstore. So the fact that there will be a way to support local bookstores while buying ebooks is so cool. And this also coincides with their 5-year anniversary. They did spring up during 2020. It was also announced that Fairy Loot and Transworld will be launching a new imprint. It's going to be a fantasy imprint, and their name and logo are going to be revealed at the London Book Fair in March. The picture here is actually a picture of Anissa, who is the founder of Fairy Loot and one of the nicest people ever. I had the pleasure of meeting her at a book expo back when that still existed, and she was just such a nice person. So I'm really excited for her and really excited that she's launching an imprint. That's amazing. Then moving back to book-specific book news. So Pierce Brown recently announced in an interview that Red God is not going to be publishing in 2025. It's likely going to be published in early 2026 or summer 2026 at the latest. He said that there are a lot of loose ends to tie up, and he really wants to get it right, which totally agree. Totally worth waiting to have a good ending. So he's still currently working on it, but it does sound like he is making good progress, which is great. Next up is something that I'm really excited about, and it's that Dimension 20 and Webtoon are teaming up to create an adaptation of Fantasy High. There's no word yet on the release date, but Fantasy High is so much fun, so I'm really excited to see this one get a Webtoon adaptation. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Then we got a title reveal for The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. I'm loving the trend of female knights lately. I think that this is a trend that I'm going to be really enjoying. This is a standalone fantasy novel about a big sad lady knight who is stuck in a tragic time loop. It's coming out on October 28th of 2025, and she actually used one of my favorite paintings in her reveal of this. I've had this painting on my Notion board for so long, so I was really excited to see that too. Then Brielle Pepper Bookstagram posted a clip of Allie Hazelwood on stage at a book event, and during this clip, Allie announced that she has not only written a sequel to Bride, but it is completed and it will be releasing in fall of 2025. There's no listing or anything for this on Goodreads yet, so this was brand new news. Really excited to hear this. I still have to read Bride. Very excited that Allie's gonna continue with some fantasy. Then Tor Books announced that they picked up a new sci-fi space opera series by Richard Swan. It's described as Red Rising meets The Expanse, and the first book is set to publish in August of 2026. Next up, we got a title reveal for Wild Card by Elsie Silver. This is the fourth book in the Rose Hill series. I'm really excited about this. I love Elsie Silver's books so much. I'm really excited to see what color this is going to be because the rest of the Rose Hill series is all neon highlighter colors and they just go together so well. So I'm really hoping that this will be a neon lilac. I think that will just look so good with the rest of the series. And this book is coming out on September 9th of 2025. So we're actually getting 2 releases in the series this year, which is so exciting. Then we got a title reveal for Brimstone by Callie Hart. This is the second book after Quicksilver. This one's coming out in November. There's been no cover or actual release date yet, but we do know that it will be getting a deluxe edition with its first printing. Then here's a name I haven't said in a while, but Jen Bennett announced that she's going to be coming out with 2 new books. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll remember when I loved her books. I think that her debut was Alex Approximately, which was a YA contemporary. It was really fun. She's branching out, and both of these books sound so good. The first one is a YA romantasy entitled Prince of Morning, and it's coming out in the fall of 2025, so not too long to wait on this one. But it takes place at an upstate New York mansion where a nursing student is summoned to take care of a dying millionaire. While there, discovers that there is actually an immortal being that is being held prisoner in this estate. That sounds awesome. And then the second book is an adult romance called Third Coast, and it's pitched as for fans of Outer Banks and Goonies. Then we got a title reveal for 3 Shattered Souls by May Cortland. This is the third and final book in the Broken Blades trilogy. It's tentatively coming out on July 22nd, but she did say that this date could shift by a week or 2. Then Bramble announced that they are continuing to pick up some of Carissa Broadbent's indie published work, so they are also going to be traditionally publishing her War of Lost Hearts trilogy. This includes Daughter of No Worlds, which will be coming out on October 14th, Children of Fallen Gods, which will be coming out on December 9th of 2025, and Mother of Death and Dawn, which will be coming out in early 2026. Next up, Ava Wilder did a title reveal for the third and final celebrity romance book that she will be writing. This one's called Some Kind of Famous, and it's going to be coming out on October 28th. Then Viz Media announced that they will be releasing 2-in-1 Nana omnibus editions of my favorite manga. This is one that I read so many years ago, but it's actually the 25th anniversary of Nana, so that's why they're going to be going back and giving these omnibus editions. I'm really excited to see what they're going to look like. They're going to be a bit bigger, and yeah, I have always loved this series. I would love to reread it, but the author got sick and stopped writing it, so it actually ends on a major cliffhanger after 20 something volumes, and it's really painful, but the rest of it is just so good that it's worth reading. But I don't know if I could put myself through that again. I'd have to be in a very specific headspace. Next, it was also announced that Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers will be releasing a book under Andy Cohen's new imprint at Crown Publishing. Okay, then moving on to adaptations, we also have a bunch of adaptation news. So kicking things off off with Netflix announcements. Some of these have since come out since I started collecting news for my next video, so I'll just say them anyway. But first up, Witcher: Sirens of the Deep is currently available on Netflix. That's an animated movie, I believe. Then there is a Devil May Cry anime series that is coming on April 3rd. There's also a new Fear Street movie coming called Fear Street Prom Queen. That's going to be coming out in the summer. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein film is going to be releasing in fall. Then one that I'm most excited for is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. This one has no release date yet, but is going to be coming to Netflix at some point. I really thought it was going to come out last year, so I'm really excited that it wasn't something that just kind of fell between the cracks and like was never talked about again. I'm glad that we actually are getting this next movie because these are so fun. Also TBD, but we are going to be getting the third and final season of Squid Game. We're also going to get Black Mirror season 7, the Thursday Murder Club film adaptation, Jurassic World's Chaos Theory season 3, more Witcher, and the final season of Stranger Things. There is also potentially a Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the works. Supposedly it is very close to a pilot order at Hulu. And Sarah Michelle Gellar will be returning in some capacity. Andrew and I had been talking about it, and for both of us, we would love if she reprised her role and was essentially like Giles for the next generation of the Slayer. That would just be awesome. We're both curious who it's going to be marketed to. We both love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I have really high hopes for this one. Next, it was announced that there is a Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter scripted TV series in development for Amazon MGM Studios. I think it's going to be like comedic because the description of it says how Taylor Lautner went missing after Twilight ended, and he was not only taking a mental health break, but he was actually training for his real calling in life, which was to be a werewolf hunter. So I imagine this is going to be comedic, but lots of Twilight news this time around. It was also announced that Exo Kitty has been renewed for a season 3. I haven't watched season 2 yet, but supposedly it ends in a big cliffhanger, so people are very excited that this will be getting another season. Dark Matter is also getting a season 2 at Apple TV Plus, and they have already started filming. Blake Crouch posted this photo of him and, gosh, the actor's name is escaping me, but the guy who plays the main guy in the show. Andrew and I literally just started watching the show like 2 days ago. Then it was announced that Jennifer Garner is going to star in the Peacock adaptation of The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. I loved this book so much, so I'm really excited that it's getting adapted. I cannot wait to see this one come to life. Then there was some casting news on Colleen Hoover's adaptation of Verity, which is coming to Amazon MGM Studios. They cast Dakota Johnson and Josh Hartnett, who will be starring with Anne Hathaway. And speaking of Anne Hathaway, it was announced that The Devil Wears Prada 2 is officially in the works over at Disney. This one I have some questions about because supposedly Meryl Streep will be reprising her role as Miranda Priestley, which great, love that. But Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt will be reprising their roles as her assistants, and I don't see how that's going to work. They definitely would be too old to be assistants at a fashion magazine. That's like an entry-level job, and theoretically, they both would have progressed in their careers. So I am curious how that's going to be handled, or if that was just like a statement made for the announcement that they'll be coming back, not necessarily playing her assistants, but we'll see how that goes. I'm always so nervous because I feel like there are so many things that we've gotten sequels to that we just like haven't needed, and I don't want this one to fall under that same category. Then we got a release date for the adaptation of Liz Moore's Long Bright River. It is a limited series that will be premiering on Peacock on March 13th. And she also shared some first look images from the set. Obviously, we have Amanda Seyfried here. Really excited about this. I haven't read the book, but I think this might be one that I just watched the adaptation of. Then the Legally Blonde prequel series casted Lexi Mindtree to play a young Elle Woods. This is a series that will be on Amazon Prime. Really excited about this one too. Again, like they just keep making things about things that I love. So I'm worried but excited. It was also announced that Robert De Niro will star in the Netflix adaptation of Alex North's The Whisper Man. This is a horror thriller novel that I've been meaning to read for a long time, so I guess this is my sign to pick it up soon. And it was also also announced that Julia Roberts and James Gray will be teaming up to tackle Peter Swanson's Kill Your Darlings. This is being developed by Amazon MGM Studios. Then it was announced that Alice Feeney's Beautiful Ugly is going to be adapted into a film by Hidden Pictures Media. LEGO has also teased that they will be making some sets of One Piece Legos, which is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing these. They just did like a teaser with Luffy's hat. They didn't give any other indication of what it is that they're creating, but I'm really excited to see these once the actual images go live. So that is all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!